What's up? What's up? Man, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit to come on in before we get started. It's gonna be kind of heavy today, but it's gonna be real. You know what I mean? It's gonna be real. Readjust the camera. Man, come on in, family. Come on in. Man, I want to have a conversation. What's up with you, Yamila? I want to have a conversation with the real ones today. The real ones. The ones ready to do the work. The ones sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? Those of you that's, man, you fed up. You know what I mean? You can't waste another year. You know, every year we go into the same year. You know, we all have these New Year's resolutions and, man, these goals and wishes we want to accomplish for the new year. And it's a trip because at the end of the year, everybody's talking about, man, next year's my year. Next year's my year, you know, whoop de whoop de whoop and all this other stuff. Man, for those of you that's sick and tired of being sick and tired, for those of you sick of the madness, of the chaos, of the hell, the negativity, the drama, you know what I mean? All that madness, man, this is a message for you. You know what I mean? But only for you. You know what I mean? For those of you that's faking the funk, for those of you that's lying to yourselves, those of you that's, you know what I mean? Drinking the Kool-Aid and you stuck in that negativity and you don't want to change, this ain't a message for you at all. At all. You know what I mean? This is not gonna help you any at all. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Man, this is just this is for the real ones. You know? Man, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Man, you can tell by the title. Man, y'all ready. Let's ride. Let's ride. You know what I mean? It's a trip because again, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in East San Ho, you know, out in Cali. And man, I remember, man, anytime there was a fight, whether it's in elementary, junior high school, whatever, and we heard somebody was fighting, what's up with you, Jack? Man, we heard somebody was getting into it. Man, we all ran. You know, I mean, we ran to the fight. Let's go, you know, because we didn't know what was going to happen. You know what I mean? We didn't know if we needed to jump in. We didn't know if it was, you know, multiple people jumping on one person or what the situation may be. You know, we want to be there in the mix. You know what I mean? Just in case some stuff popped off me and we was right there. You know what I mean? We was right there. We was ready. You know what I mean? We stayed ready. You know, we stayed ready to get into some stupid shit. We stayed ready to get into some mayhem. You know what I mean? And it's a trip because that negativity, man, that's like so natural for so many of us. You know what I mean? Man, that negative, that drama, you know, you hear about some negative news on social media, man, that stuff spreads like wildfire. You know what I mean? Somebody say something stupid, hey, let's go do this, let's go. I remember as a kid, man, you know, in junior high school, not high school, you know, I'm telling them, I said, what's up with you, Lucas? Man, we used to do some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Some stupid shit. And this was back when everybody had like Suzuki sidekicks, little Jeeps and stuff like that, right? I didn't have one because I was poor. You know what I mean? Most of my people, we didn't have that stuff like that. There was other ethnicities, you know, some of the Hispanics and some of the white people, you know, some of the Asians, they had that stuff. Not us. You know what I mean? Not us, not at all. You know, we was riding shotgun and in the back, you know. But we used to go to like 7-Elevens. This was way before they got all the cameras. What's up with you, Scott? Before they got all the cameras and technology in the 7-Eleven and stores like that. And so we'd go to the store, and man, a few of us would walk in with the intent of buying some stuff to distract the guy. And the rest of everybody else, man, we just grabbing beer, just cases and stuff. Man, and eggs. 7-Eleven back then used to sell eggs and stuff, right? And so we would grab all this stuff and go running out, you know. I always want to pay for some stuff, right? And but everybody else would grab some stuff, and I would be talking because I'm a talker, you know what I mean? And I would be talking to the guy about what's behind the counter and just distracting him, you know what I mean? And everybody else just grabbing shit and just running out, right? And I'm making sure I'm paying for my shit, and I was like, man, you know. And we in the car drinking beer and the sidekick, Suzuki, whatever, and we just rolling down the streets, you know, just drinking beer cans and stupid ass shit, right? And back then, everybody had aluminum garbage cans on the street, right? And that's what we put our trash out in. And we'd always grab the lids off these trash cans, right? And so we rolling down, and we got other sidekicks with us, what I mean? Suzuki sidekicks and stuff like that. Well, Jose, what's up with you, man? And we rolling down the freeway, the expressway, whatever, man. And we got eggs that we stole, and we just having a freaking war, just a fight on the freaking freeway, on the expressway, just throwing eggs at each other. And we just using the aluminum the lid as shields, you know what I mean? Just doing stupid ass shit, but it was always a group of us. You know what I mean? I remember back in junior high school, they was like, man, so-and-so got some weed, so-and-so got some bud. Back then it was Indo and Thai and Cis. Those are like the basic three types of weed, not like all the shit that they just make up and just sell y'all now. You know what I mean? But back then it was like the three basic weeds. And so, man, so-and-so had it, man, we all there. You know what I mean? Or so-and-so got some liquor, man, we all there. You know what I mean? And there's just that negativity. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And it's a trip because that drama spreads. We run to that. We gravitate to that. But when somebody starts talking about doing something positive, somebody starts talking about doing something righteous, something good with our lives, oh man, we ain't got time for that fool. Oh man, I'll catch up on the next one. You know what I mean? We ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? But if it's talking about being at the club and hoeing and drinking and partying and whoop-de-whoop, man, we all there. We don't want to miss that. We can't miss that. You know what I mean? Because we know something's going to happen. We know something's going to happen, and we don't want to miss out on it. You know what I mean? Man, JoJo got kicked in the fucking grill. Man, Mike got knocked the fuck out. We was all on that stupid shit. But we never tell somebody, man, let's go study. Man, we got a midterm coming up. Man, we got an exam. Man, ain't nobody got time for that bitch shit. You know what I mean? No, we ain't trying to do that shit. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to do that. And so, fast forward. Y'all ready? Let's ride. Let's ride. Trip. So many of us grew up in all that negativity. So many of us grew up in that toxic shit. So many of us grew up on the block with nothing positive happening at all. And so fast forward, and that's all we know. That's all we know. And unfortunately, because that's all we know, we don't know how to get out of that. We don't know how to shift our thinking. All we know is negativity. All we know is bullshit. All we know is some drama and some mayhem. We don't know anything else. We ain't got time for anything. That's corny shit. That's lame shit. That's nerd shit. You know what I mean? We ain't got time for that bullshit. If you want part of the crew, if you want part of the clique, the in crowd, man, ain't nobody coming to your corny ass party. We didn't give a fuck what you was doing. Nobody had time for that bullshit. But let one of us throw a party, man, we turning up. You know what I mean? Everybody turning the fuck up. Because we knew what you was about. We knew what you was gonna have going on. You was gonna have some hoes there. You was gonna have some alcohol there. You was gonna have some bud there. You was gonna have some other shit there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And so, man, we gravitate to that negativity. And that's what we grew up on. When you look at on news, all they talk about is negative shit. You hardly hear a news channel talking about some positive, righteous shit. What sells on social media is the drama and the bullshit. Man, Jay, I appreciate that donation, man. Bless you. You know what I mean? All that sells on social media is the bullshit. The bullshit. Now we're grown. Now we got kids of our own, or we want to have kids of our own. We want to settle down. And the trip is, most of us don't know how to settle down. Most of us don't know how to get out of our own way. Because all we know is the bullshit. That's all we know. The only way to change your life, the only way to change your life, you have to change your way of thinking. You cannot change your life without changing your way of thinking. You can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You can get all into church if you want to. You can go into the military if you want to. You could go to school if you want to. You could do whatever you want to do. But if you don't change your way of thinking, all those old, toxic, negative, destructive, self-sabotaging patterns and behaviors are going to go with you. And they're going to fuck it all up. You're going to get married and you're going to fuck that up. You're going to have kids and you're going to fuck that up. Why? Because you haven't changed your way of thinking. You haven't changed your way of thinking. And so what we have to do is sit back and understand and humble ourselves and acknowledge the fact that, man, you know what? I got to grow up. I got to grow up. There's a whole lot of women out there look good, but their body ain't as tight as it used to be when they was a teenager. Their body ain't as tight as it used to be when they was 20 and maybe pushing 30. Now they're in their upper 30s, they don't have some kids, and they're in their 40s, and their body ain't never quite got right again. You know what I'm saying? Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And so many guys was out there on the block, out there in the corner, doing stupid ass shit. We ain't, as you get older, you ain't as strong as you used to be. You ain't as fast as you used to be. If you don't change your way of thinking, you're never going to get all that you want to have in life. You can't reach your full potential holding on to that negativity. You can't reach your full potential being the dumbass you was back in high school. You can't reach your full potential being the dumbass you was in your 20s. What's up with you, JetBlue? You can't. You have to grow up. And the only way to grow up, honestly, is to sit there and say, damn, I got to deal with some shit. How do I deal with this shit? How do I deal with this in a healthy manner? How do I deal with this that's going to help me grow up? How do I deal with this that's going to help me reach my full potential? You got to acknowledge that it exists. You have to acknowledge that you have problems, whatever they are. And the truth is, you're not going to fix everything overnight. You can't. Life is a process. It's a process. It's a journey. And so, man, we get a little bit that we got to fix, work on at this time. And we work on this right here and we get this squared away. Okay, I got this. And then we get a little reprieve. That means a little break, a little breathing room. And then Source, God, the universe, gives us another problem, another situation we have to face. And in that situation, it's helping us deal with some of the stuff that we grew up holding on to, some of the bullshit, some of the self-sabotaging beliefs, some of the self-hatred. I'm not good enough. I've never been good enough. Nobody's ever really wanted me. Nobody's ever really thought highly of me. And so I learned not to think highly of myself. I learned not to trust myself. I learned not to value myself. Or some of us were sexually violated. We learned that, man, sex is no big deal. Sex don't really mean nothing. I thought sex was something special, but it really ain't. Oh, this is what the girls want. Let me give it to them. Oh, this is what guys want. Let me give it to them. Why? Because I want to be accepted. I want them to like me. I want them to value me. I want them to think I'm cool, so let me hit that blunt. Let me run these lines real quick. Let me drink this shit right here. because I want to be like everybody else. Because I don't think I'm shit. My family has told me I wasn't shit. My family has told me I was stupid and I wasn't going to amount to nothing. And so we believe that shit. Then we get married or we get in a relationship and you give this guy your all. You have 3 babies with him and you find out that he's been cheating on you the whole time. You find out he got kids outside of your relationship. He's dogged you the hell out. And just made you feel like, damn, everything they told me as a kid is true. Everything they've ever told me must be true. Because everybody I bring into my life, man, they just confirm that same bullshit. So I must be the problem. And so then we start smoking and drinking heavily. We get loud and obnoxious. Why? Because now we just want to compensate and we want to brush all this shit away, and we can't change the fact that we were sexually abused. We can't change the fact that we was thrown away. We can't change the fact that we was used up like a fucking dirty rag and just thrown out with the trash. We can't change the fact that our mama and daddy didn't want shit to do with us. And so we look for people that will accept us as grimy as we are, as nasty as we are, as toxic as we are. And then we blame everybody else. Stay with, I'm going somewhere today. I'm just laying the foundation. We have to change the way we think. The trip is, a lot of us grew up or we've learned about the Bible. And the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I'm going to say it again. Whatever you think about in your heart, whatever you believe you are, you are. If you believe you ain't shit, you're going to live your life like you ain't shit. If you believe that nobody's gonna love you, if you believe that you're unlovable, you'll live your life like you're unlovable. If you believe that you're grimy and that you ain't shit, and you're gonna end up in the fucking penitentiary, that's how you're gonna live your life. If you believe that guys ain't shit, that's what you're gonna take into your relationships. If you believe that women ain't nothing but fucking hoes, not to be trusted, that's how you're going to treat them. That's what you're going to take into your relationships. If you believe that the world is against you, that's how you're going to live your life. With a victim mentality. We have to change the way we think. And that's a hard process. And it's tricky because they don't tell us this shit. Our families haven't told us this shit. Because they didn't know it. They just told us, man, go to church and pray. They gave us all that they had. I was mad at my father, right? My father taught me four things, I believe it was. 4 things. Taught me prison politics, how to survive in a pen. He taught me how to make spread. That's where you take some top ramen noodles and hook it up with a whole bunch of other shit and make it look and taste like a fucking gourmet meal. You know what I mean? He taught me how to work out prison style, how to do dips and burpees and make water bags and all this other bullshit, right? And he taught me how to play handball. Those are the 4 things my father taught me. 4 things that my father taught me. 4 things. And I was so angry at him and so pissed off at him, like, this is it? This is all that you got to give me? It's these 4 fucking things? And I was so mad and so angry and so hurt. And it took me a while to realize, damn, you mad at your father for teaching you those 4 things. Because you don't understand. That's all your father fucking knew. All your daddy knew was how to survive in politics in the fucking prison system. How to be grimy as fuck on the fucking streets. My father was BGF, that's Black Guerrilla Family. That's like the Black Mob. That's all my fucking father knew was that grimy ass shit. That's all he could give me. And I started looking around at my auntie and my grandmother, the 2 people that raised me. And they were religious fanatics, diehard Christians, and I couldn't stand them. I loved my grandmother, but I hated her fucking religious beliefs. I was sick and tired of the bullshit. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And it took me a while to understand, damn, that's all they had. That's what she held on to. Stay with me, I'm about to drop something. And so I started talking to my grandmother. And my grandmother explained to me why she was such a diehard Jesus. You know, why she believed in Jesus so much. And so I'm sitting there listening to my grandmother, because back then in the 70s and the early, grown folks didn't talk to kids about grown folks shit. Kids knew to stay in their own fucking lane and stay out the fuck out of grown folks' conversations. It ain't like it is today, where you got these little badass fucking grown ass kids all up in our fucking business, in our fucking face, trying to tell us what it is and what it ain't. And motherfucker, you wasn't even there. Shut the fuck up. But I digress. And so my grandma sitting there talking to me about her childhood. And see, my grandmother was Cherokee. Her father was killed when she was a little girl. Her mom lost her mind. Her uncle shot her brother at the kitchen table because her brother took the last biscuit. Shot and killed her little brother right in front of her. And so when I heard this, and I'm listening to my grandma, and the tears are running down, and she's talking about God has reserved her, and God has kept her. That's all she had. I thought my life was fucking rough. I thought my shit was bad. And I'm listening to my grandma, and the tears are running down her eyes. And she talks about, man, her faith in Jesus, her faith in God, and why she has this faith, because that's all she got. That's all she knows. See, because she was married to my grandfather. My grandfather was a preacher and a singer and a musician and a hoe at the same time. I'm gonna say it again. My grandfather was a carpenter. He was a pastor, a preacher, a singer, a musician, and a hoe. And so my grandma raising all these kids, and my grandpa all doing his shit. You see, back then, we didn't talk about mental health shit. Nobody talked about dealing with your shit back then. They didn't know how fucking twisted they was. They didn't understand how damaged they was. All they knew was bring it to Jesus. Bring it to God. Jesus was the answer for everything for her. That's not the answer for everything for me. That's not the answer for the great majority of us. Because the great majority have come to church and we got violated in the church. The great majority of we've come to church and got robbed in the church, got lied to and deceived and cheated in the church. And so we're asking deeper questions. We're asking the difficult questions. I don't want to hear no bullshit about praying because I got raped or praying about it because I was molested. No, I'm not trying to pray about the bullshit. How do I heal this shit? How do we heal being raped? How do we heal being abandoned and rejected? How do we heal being molested? How do we heal being kicked to the curb by our own family? See, in order to reach your full potential, you got to deal with your shit. You have to deal with your shit in order for you to become the beacon of hope, the beacon of love, the phoenix, the alchemist that you came here to be. In order for you to be the best version of you, you have to be transparent and honest with yourself. And you got to deal with your bullshit. And so how do you deal with that shit? How do you deal with that? How do you get past giving your all to your baby mama and she kicking you to the curb? How do you get past losing a loved one? We got so much shit that we're carrying, so much fucking pain and suffering and trauma and baggage in our fucking backpack. And ain't nobody ever told us how to get rid of the bullshit. See, we come up with slogans when we don't know the answer. We come up with slogans like keep hope alive and power to the people and just pray about it and just bring it to the altar. And we come up with these Christian cliches and these positive cliches, but nobody gets down in the dirt with you. Nobody gets in the nitty gritty with you. You know what I mean? Nobody gets down in the swamp and in the mud and grimy with you. It's a trip. How do we let all this shit go? How do we let this shit go? Take a breath. Take a breath. We have to understand a couple things. First and foremost, pat yourself on the fucking back. Pat yourself on the fucking back. What do I mean by that? Because, you know, and I tell people all the time, I went through all the bullshit that I went through. Why? So that my kids, my grandkids would never have to go through the bullshit that I went through. I carried the weight of the world on my fucking shoulders. Why? Because I came here to break this fucking bullshit. I came here to break these fucking generational curses. I went through the pain and the trauma of not having a mom and all the bullshit in life so that my kids would never have to go through that bullshit. When you look at your life and you sit back and just reflect on all the shit that you've gone through, man, let the fucking tears flow. Pat yourself on your fucking back. Man, you did it. You survived the worst of it. When everybody counted your ass out, you still got up and still pushed forward. You don't know how you did it. You don't even understand why you did it. And if the truth be told, a lot of us didn't want to. A lot of us tried to end the bullshit. A lot of us tried to take ourselves out. A lot of us tried to commit suicide because we was tired of being sick and tired. We was tired of being broken, tired of being hurt. tired of carrying the fucking pain. And so we didn't even want to keep going. We gave up a long fucking time ago. And yet, here we are. Here we are. Years later. Decades later. And a lot of us are still carrying that pain. We're still carrying that pain. We don't talk about it no more. We don't bring it up. We don't want nobody talking to us about the bullshit. We want to act like this shit didn't even happen. We don't want to go to therapy no more. We're not even living. We're just existing. There's a difference between living and existing. The great majority of us, we're just existing. We're existing. And that's okay, because you're still alive. But you have to change your mindset. All of us have to change our mindset. Man, Miss Rocky, bless you. Thank you for that donation. We have to change our mindset. We have to get to the point where, man, enough is enough. We have to get to the point where it's like, man, I'm tired of being negative. Man, ain't you tired of being negative? Ain't you tired of being stuck on that fucking drama and that bullshit? Ain't you tired of standing on the fucking corner and on the fucking block talking about what we did in fucking high school? Like those were the glory days? Like that was the best life had to offer? Who stole our dreams? Who did we allow to steal our dreams? See, Trip, as little kids, we all had dreams. We all wanted to be somebody. We all want to do something in life. And then life happens. Life has a way of kicking you in your fucking ass. Life has a way of beating the shit out of you. Life has a way of slapping the dog shit out of you. And then we give up on our dreams. We give up on our hopes and our ambitions. As a Trip, I wanted to be a psychologist as a kid. Psychology came natural to me, easy. I didn't even understand why I resonated with so much with it. Probably because I was fucked up. You know what I mean? I was emotionally fucked up. You know what I mean? And so I gravitated to it. I just knew shit about psychology. Just knew it naturally. Didn't even have to study it. I just knew it. It's a trip because I was going to National University like in '99. And man, doing all these term papers, right? And the professors reading my papers, they're like, man, how long you been in school? Man, you're going to make a great doctor. It's like, man, this is my first year. You know, this is my first class. This is my second class. This is my third class or whatever. And they're tripping out. Like, how the hell do you know this? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. I wanted to be a psychologist as a kid. I knew that was my calling. I knew that was my gift. That was my gift. But what I didn't understand, God told me no. I'm like, what do you mean no, God? He's like, I didn't tell you to go to school. I didn't tell you to go study what Carl Jung said and Sigmund Freud said and Erik Erikson and all these other people. I didn't tell you to go study them. I didn't tell you to study that bullshit. I told you this is what you were going to do. And I'm like, how can I be a psychologist, God, if I don't have the degrees, if I don't have my doctorate degree or my master's degree? How can I be a psychologist if I'm not licensed by the state and all this? He said, I called you. I don't give a fuck about the state. I don't give a fuck about their certification. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. He said, Elijah, you know stuff. I put stuff in you. You don't understand yet. And it's trip because when I started this YouTube platform 2 years ago, man, within the last year, I started getting all these people, all these psychology people, majors, all these people with degrees in psychology, master's degree, a couple of doctorates, calling me and asking me for a coaching session. Asking me, man, can you be my mentor? How do you know this shit? Man, when you talk, man, you say some real deep shit. And I haven't even learned this shit, and I got a doctorate degree. I've been a psychologist for 15 years, and I teach at such and such a school. And it humbles me. And it scares me. It scares me. And the reason why it bothers me and it makes me nervous and it humbles me is because, you know what? For the longest, I was looking for the affirmations. And I thought that by having a degree, that would make me somebody. I thought that being a doctor in psychology, it would validate me. And what God had to show me is no. Your life is the only validation you need. Your experiences are the only validation you need. So there's a whole lot of motherfuckers that got an education, but they don't have no personal experience. They got book knowledge, but they can't make a fucking difference. See, in the church, we call that the anointing. In the church, we call that the power or the Holy Spirit on your life. To where you could go into somebody's life without having the degrees, without having the quote-unquote training and the education, and be able to speak life and love and hope into people's lives. Because it's something that God has called you, universe source has called you to do. He's called us to be a beacon of hope. How can we be a beacon of hope if we've never been fucking hopeless? He's called us to be a beacon of love. How can you be a beacon of love if you've never gone through the pain and the brokenness of abandonment and rejection and feeling unloved? Unworthy of love. You see, it's all the shit that we've gone through. It's all the shit that we've gone through that gives us the power, that gives us the passion. We missed that though. We didn't understand that though. See, it's our brokenness, it's our pain, it's all the shit that we've suffered throughout the life that when we go in and we're talking to other people and man, we become transparent and open and raw and real with them and they can see our pain, they can see our brokenness and our genuineness and our rawness that they understand, man, I can relate to you. Man, you're talking about my life, you're talking about my experiences. Man, your story is my story. Man, because you've gone through all of that, man, that gives me so much fucking hope. Man, that gives me so much fucking faith. If you can go through it, then I can go through it. Because the trip is, man, once we become raw and real with each other, we realize that, damn, my situation, as bad as it was, man, it wasn't as bad as this person's shit was. It wasn't as bad as other people's shit was. And because they've gone through worse, that gives me hope that I can make it. That I can make it. Yeah, Scott. It's all about our perspective. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we see our situations. We have to change the way we see our experiences. Because as long as we always see them as a negative thing, there'll always be a negative thing. As long as we see them as a loose noose around our necks, that's what there'll always be. As long as we see them an anchor and ball and chains around us, keeping us from reaching our full potentials, that's all they'll ever be. True. I don't have all that education. I could walk into any boardroom. I could sit there and chop it up with anybody, regardless of their degrees, regardless of their successes in life, and have the utmost of confidence in who I am. And be just as proud of who I am. And I'm not talking about proud as in arrogant and narcissistic, but proud in the fact that, man, I've dealt with so much of my bullshit. I've grown so much. I'm proud of me. I don't give a damn whether anybody else is proud of me or not. I'm proud of me. And that's all that matters. And so, man, when you learn to change your perspective and you learn to see that, damn, I'm not a fuck up. I'm not a fucking failure. Damn, I'm a fucking survivor. I'm more than a conqueror. All the shit that I've gone through couldn't keep me down. Every day I get up. And the trip is, there's people that's gone through less than us that have committed suicide. There's people that's gone through less than us that have lost their minds on drugs. You're here for a reason. You're not spending the rest of your life in the penitentiary or in the psych ward for a reason. You're not strung out on dope out on the streets. You haven't lost your mind on dope for a reason. You're not dead for a reason. For a reason. And it's not because God wants to just keep punishing you. It's not because God don't like you. It's not because God don't love you. It's not because God wants to keep torturing you. It's not because the devil owns you and you're the devil's product or the devil's property. It's none of that bullshit. Change your perspective. Change your perspective. Learn to see yourself as your greatest hero. Learn to see the strength that you really have. It takes a strong-ass person to go through all the shit that you've gone through. It takes a compassionate and a loving person to have gone through all of that shit and to still want to find a relationship. still want to find a king, still want to find a queen, that still want to have kids someday, to still want to be able to help other people. You have to change your perspective. It's a trick because you know what? I talked about all this shit that I've gone through. And I was so mad at God. So angry at God for all the shit that I've gone through. God had to tell me, God had to show me, Elijah, 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 Elijah. And there's a poem, I did a video about this, footprints in the sand. Footprints in the sand. I don't know who wrote that poem. I believe it's anonymous, whoever, you know, whatever. But God had to remind me, Elijah, I was there with you. When you went through all the shit that you went through, I didn't abandon you. I didn't turn my back on you. When you were sad, I was sad. When you were brokenhearted, I was brokenhearted. I was always by your side. I never left you. Even when you were at your darkest moments, even when you had that gun in your fucking hand and you was contemplating just taking out everybody in your fucking proximity, even when you had that fucking alcohol and you was trying to kill yourself that way, I was there. I was there. I was there. All your secrets, they're not secrets to me. Why do you try to hide shit from me? Why is it that you don't think I know what I know? Elijah, you might as well be transparent with me because I know all. You can't hide shit from me. And I learned, man, if I could be transparent before God, I could be transparent before others. Let me say it again. If I could be honest and real and completely open in front of God. And God had to show me that, man, it don't matter what you think. Elijah, I'm there with you when you're taking a shit on the toilet. I'm there with you when you butt-ass naked in the shower. I'm there with you when you laying in bed and farting and shit. I know that's graphic, but it's real. It's real. And for some reason, we don't think that God sees us when we in there shitting and pissing. For some reason, we don't think God is looking at us when we dirty and in the shower and washing up, or when we're in the bathroom and in the bathtub. We don't think God is watching us. When we're laying in the bed and we're thinking about all the shit we're thinking about, we don't think that God sees us. We don't think that God hears us. We don't think that God can read our minds. We think that we got some secrets from God. We think we get up and put on some nice clothes and talk all this Christian lingo and all this other bullshit, and God's going to be impressed with what we say and impressed with how we dress. God knows the real you. The problem is you don't know the real you. What's up with you, Wahid? And so what God had to show me was like, Elijah, You went through all that you went through. You went through all that you went through, not to tear you down, not to make you give up, not to make you suicidal. Your thoughts, your reactions are how you chose to deal with those situations. Say it again. You went through all that you went through. You chose to deal with it the way that you did. Whether it's popping pills, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's going out having sex with everybody, whether it's slamming dope, whatever it is that you did, you chose how to respond to all of those situations. That was your choice. I'm asking you, Elijah, to change your perspective. Learn to tap into me so you can see what I see. See, all the stuff that you see as a negative thing, Elijah, that's what's qualified you to be a beacon of hope. That's what qualifies you to be a beacon of love. All the shit that you've gone through, that's what qualifies you to be my representation, to be a reflection of me. See, we think all the bullshit that we've gone through, man, and we just fucked up and it's all bad and we'll do because we're in a low vibration. We're on a low frequency. We see all the shit wrong. What God had to show me is, Elijah, all that shit, all of it, that's how I qualify you. That's how I choose you. That's how I prepare you. That's how I groom you to be a spokesperson. That's how I prepare you to help others who are going through similar situations. That's how I prepare you to talk to others and to share with others and to let your light shine. Now, because you've gone through all of the crazy shit that you've gone through, I could put you up on this pedestal and your light can shine. And I know you're not gonna fuck it up. You're not gonna squander the opportunity. Now that you've gone through all the bullshit that you've gone through, now I can raise you up. Now I can elevate you in front of the world. Now I can present you as a beacon of love, a beacon of hope and joy to the world. You've made it through the school of hard knocks. You made it. And so now when you walk in a room, people are like, damn, I don't even fucking know that person. Well, who the fuck is that? There's something peculiar about them. There's something different about them. Now, when you walk in, you ain't got to have the quote-unquote education backing you up. Why? Because you got God, the universe, source, the Most High, putting you in that position. And the trip is, man, you'll walk in and people won't even know you, but they'll know something about you in the aspect of, damn, I gotta help this person. Damn, I gotta open up doors for this person. damn, this person's the shit. They don't really know who they are. They don't really know why they're here. But man, I'm in this position. Let me open up the door for them. Let me give them the opportunity. Let me help elevate them. I just want to be in their proximity. I just want to be in their circle because I know they're going somewhere. I know the hand of God is on their life. I know they're going to do something major. Because we've been prepared for this our whole life. We've been groomed for this our whole life. See, I look at my queen right now, and it's like, man, family, y'all got to understand, man, I'm 52 years old. I grew up in California. Back in the day, we had this East Coast, West Coast shit. Man, I never wanted to come to the fucking East Coast. Man, fuck the East Coast. Fuck New York. Fuck all that bullshit. Man, I'm Cali born, Cali raised. Cali's where I was gonna die. Talked to you guys the other day about the video. Man, it's just a tiny piece of the puzzle. I was just looking at a tiny piece of the puzzle. But God had orchestrated and manipulated and organized some things bigger than me. And once I got in alignment with God, I didn't have to see the full picture. I just had to trust and understand, man, everything is always working out for me. And I tell you guys that all the time. Everything is always working out for us. We just have to trust the process. All the negative shit that I've gone through, all the negative, toxic shit that you've gone through, it's prepared you. It's grooming you. And so I'm looking at my queen. I was talking about my queen. I'm looking at her, right? And I sit there and I'm just in amazement. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there and I just can't, man, you know, I can't even talk. Man, I just hold her, you know, hold her tight. And it's like, man, I couldn't imagine this a few years ago. I couldn't imagine being in this situation a year ago. Oh, I look back over all the crazy ass women I've been with, all the trampy hood rats I've been with, all the trash I've been with. Thinking about some of the good women that I've been with. And all of it is just help prepare me. All they did was prepare me for my queen. And so a lot of you, man, I got 4 baby daddies and nobody's gonna want me and whoop and da and all this. Man, change your perspective. Change your perspective. I know a young lady down in San Diego. I met her in February, sometime in February, right? Down in Atlanta. I want to say she had like 9 kids. 9 kids. And she just got married. This dude accepted her with her 9 kids. Why am I talking about that? Because I hear so many young women. Man, I got 3 baby daddies and nobody's gonna want to marry me. I got 4 baby daddies. I got 5 kids and I'm 24 and who's gonna want me? And man, all this bullshit. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit. Change your perspective. Change your perspective. Learn to get tapped into God. Learn to understand the reason why you've gone through all that you've gone through. And then stop seeing it as a negative thing. And see it as, man, this is the school of hard knocks. This is God University. This is Source University. Whatever you want to call it. but it's your school ground. It's your training ground. It's your preparation stage. It's preparing you for the businesses that you're about to get or start. It's preparing you for the marriage. It's preparing you for the career. It's preparing you for the books, the movies. It's preparing you for major media, whatever it is you want to do. Understand, everything is always working out for our good. The Bible says it different. The Bible says all things work together for the good of them that are called by his name and them that love him. You know what I mean? All things work together for the good. Not some things. All things. See, I said it a little different. I said everything is always working out for me. It's the same thing, just the words different. But it means the exact same thing. Everything. Not some things. Not a few things. Everything. That's all fucking inclusive. All fucking inclusive. Everything is always working out for me. And since your trip, because I never believed that growing up. Oh, so toxic. I believed that, man, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. I used to believe, man, whatever I put my hand to, like it was the opposite of Midas. Whatever Midas put his hand to turned to gold. My belief was that whatever I put my hands to turns to fucking rust. I contaminate everything I fucking touch. That was my belief system. And so I had to learn to change that shit. I had to learn to believe, man, hold on, wait a minute. Everything's always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And I used to say that over and over and over and over and over and over until I started believing it. I used to write it down over and over and over and over until I started remembering it and saying it in my sleep. I would wake up in the morning sometimes just saying the same thing. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. I would go to sleep at night saying, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. I would fall asleep saying that. And I started believing it. I started believing it. And I started looking at my life totally different. I started looking at all my experiences and I started seeing, man, no matter what I went through, everything that I went through, man, because I've gone through it, I'm able to talk to different people and not knowing that this person's gone through this too. And man, they were just waiting for another black man to say, man, I've gone through that. Man, I've been molested. Man, I went through this. They're just waiting for another man to get up and say, man, it's okay to say that this woman broke your heart. It's okay to say that you're madly in love with this woman and whoop, 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 and she rejected you and she abandoned you for somebody else and blah, 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 blah. It's okay to have these heart-to-heart conversations. It's okay as a man to deal with your emotions. It's okay as a man to deal with your feelings. Because I learned the hard way. I didn't have anybody that I could talk to like this. I didn't have anybody telling me or showing me how to keep it real like this. And so there's a saying, man, be the change that you want to see. Whatever the change is in the world that you want to see, be that change. And so, man, I changed my life. And I was like, man, I want this in the world. I want to see men. I don't give a damn what color they are. I don't give a damn what hood they from. I want to see men loving on their kids and men speaking life into their kids and being a positive role model into their kids and being real with their kids and stop letting these kids just run a fucking amok and hold them fucking accountable. And if they stop talking to you, if they stop being your fucking friend because they not used to somebody keeping it real with them because society is so fucked up right now. Society is so fucking twisted right now. Man, we so fucking sissified. And what I mean by, we don't want nobody talking to us like this. We don't want nobody keeping it real with us like this. We want motherfuckers sugarcoating shit to us. We want motherfuckers patting us on the back and we ain't doing shit. See, now society said, oh, you participated on the football team, we're gonna give you a fucking medal. You didn't do shit, didn't play, but you was here. So just because you was here, we're gonna give you a certificate. Bullshit, we didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up like that. I'm cut from a different cloth. That's not how we grew up back in the day. Everybody didn't get shit just for being there. See, now we got all these fucking kids growing up thinking that the government is supposed to just take care of us and the government is supposed to just give me this and that. And we got this entitlement mentality where you just gonna get some shit just for being here. You ain't got to do shit. Just be here. I'm just existing, and the government got to give me a house. The government got to give me a place to stay, and the government got to pay for my education, and the government got to do this. And they get off the fucking government's nipple, and grow the fuck up, and stand on your own goddamn fucking feet. Oh, this is a real channel. We keep this shit real here. Man, it is what it is. But we've so fucked this generation up with this entitlement mentality. I'm not that way. I don't give a damn who like it and who don't like it. I remember my kids, and I'm going to bring it to a close real soon. I remember my younger kids. My baby girl. She was in kindergarten, I think. Yeah, kindergarten. Jay was in kindergarten at the time. And so I'm going to take them, her and her two brothers, I'm going to take them and get them a cell phone, right? Yes, man, I've always been about, man, I want to give my kids more than what I had. You know what I mean? I want to give them the things that I didn't have. You know what I mean? And one of that is this father figure, strong, stern father figure that's going to be in their fucking grill and hold them accountable and keep it real with them. Whether they like this shit or not, this is who I was going to be. Call me drill sergeant, boot camp. I don't give a fuck what you call me, but I'm a fucking man. And so we were at Best Buy at the time, and we're looking at these cell phones, and she went to iPhone 5 at the time. iPhone 6, excuse me. She went to iPhone 6. And I'm looking at her, and she in kindergarten. And I'm like, Jade, I'm not getting you no iPhone 6. Baby, I don't even have an iPhone 6. She's like, but I want an iPhone 6, Daddy. Everybody got it. And see what her brothers and stuff used to do, because that's my baby girl. She's the youngest, right? And so everybody would gas her up and tell her to come tell me some shit because they thought she had me wrapped around her fucking finger. And so, man, we about to have a come to Jesus moment right here in Best Buy. And I'm about to break her heart and keep the shit real with her and fuck her world up. And so she's sitting there, Daddy. And I hate the bullshit. And I'm telling my wife that, man, don't come to me with that, Daddy. And then, oh, I hate that shit. It was a trigger for me. It's a trigger for me. That shit got me on one right now just thinking about the bullshit. You know what I mean? And so we at Best Buy, and she coming up to, Daddy, this is the phone we want. And Dad, her brothers ain't said shit. They older than her. But they gonna send her over to tell me the bullshit. And so I'm like, Jade, I can't get you no iPhone 6. But why? Yes, you can, Daddy. You got money. I know you got money. I said, Jade, it's not about having money. Jade, this is almost $600. I'm not spending this on you for a phone for you, because if I buy it for you, I gotta buy it for your brothers. I'm not spending $600 on the phone for you and $600 on the phone for Malik and then $600 on the phone for Elisha. I don't have a $600 phone. And I'm the one with the fucking job. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll get you guys this phone right here. It's the knockoff, right? But I don't want. I'm done. She started crying, but I don't want that. Oh, you ain't getting shit now, fuck you. Exactly what I told her. You ain't getting shit now, fuck you. You're not gonna do this shit with me. She didn't get shit. Her phone, her brothers are cool with the phone. She didn't get shit. You ain't paying for shit. You ain't earned shit. You ain't getting shit. You ain't gonna sit here and dictate shit. And that's what's wrong with this fucking generation. They got this fucking entitlement mentality. That we owe some shit. No, you ain't owe shit. You got to put the fucking work in. You gotta deal with your fucking issues. You gotta grow up. You have to change your perspective. You have to change your perspective, family. That's the only way to grow. Man, my hope and prayer is that I missed the lies too, Scorpio lady. My hope and prayer is that I've said something or something was shared, that, man, resonates with you or that turns the light on with you or for you or something of that nature. Man, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to blow up, man, can't nothing stop you. Can't nothing stop you. Nothing can stop you. If you want to own a business and you business minded, man, study business, study finances, you know what I mean? Study all that stuff, business law and all that other stuff, so that when your opportunity come for you to start your business, you already did the background, you've already done the homework, you've already done the research on how to get a name, how to, you know what I mean? Just make sure you've done your work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work up here. Man, if you want to go into 2023, man, thinking that's your year, man, we should hit 2023 running on all cylinders. 2023 should be the year that we all just blow the fuck up. Why? Because now we're putting in the fucking work. Now we're laying the groundwork. Now we're laying the foundation. I'm researching this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm getting all this information. Oh, man. And see, that's the thing with these social media. See, the trip is, man, everybody's all bad about social media. Social media is not bad. It's how you fucking use it. It can be your greatest ally. It can be your greatest distraction. It's what you do with it. Don't get on there and get distracted. Use it. Don't let it use you. Pimp the fuck out of it. Stop letting it pimp the fuck out of you. So many of us, we've allowed life to just pimp the fuck out of us. We've allowed these jobs and everything else, these churches, these politicians, we've allowed all these motherfuckers to pimp the fuck out of us. We have to stand up. We have to walk in our power, walk in our authority. We didn't come here to be begging the government for shit. We didn't come here to be begging anybody for a fucking thing. Man, if everything's always working out for me, if all things work together for my good, man, can't nothing stop us. Can't nothing, nada stop us. The only thing that can stop you is not your ratchet ass baby mama. It's not your crazy ass mama, your crazy ass family. They can't stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. You. Man, my beautiful queen and I, we love you guys. We thank you for being on this live this long with us. Man, we'll be back tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Man, if you have a prayer request, man, just shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi at gmail.com, or if something you want us to talk about, man, just put it in the comment section, or, man, just shoot us an email. Man, happy healing, family. Peace.